presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Ohio.
The Red Sox offense returned to form yesterday, capped by a grand slam from Mookie Betts. Danny Salazar will toe the rubber for the Tribe. He's been dominating all season long with the second-best ERA in the AL. Can he shut down this Red Sox offense and pitch the Indians to a series win in Beantown? Find out next on Sports Time Ohio. Clouds lifting over Boston as the Indians and the Red Sox wrap up this three-game series this afternoon here at Fenway Park. We might even see a few peaks of blue sky before this one's all said and done. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Indians and Red Sox have split the first two, so the rubber match here today will feature Danny Salazar going for the Indians. And Rick, there's only one pitcher in the AL with a lower ERA than Salazar, yet 11 pitchers have more wins than Danny.
Well, we're watching Danny Salazar mature right in front of our eyes. This guy has been dominating this year. An explosive fastball, an outstanding changeup, and his slider's been very good lately as well. And when he's on, you're not going to get many base hits off him, and he has been terrific against the Boston Red Sox. He made 2 starts against them last year. He was 2-0 with a 1.46 ERA, and with a win today, they could take this series, and that would be a big win for the Tribe. He'll be matched up against Rick Porcello, who in his career, 9-4 against the Tribe. He's won all 4 starts he's made at home this year.
All right, Indians-Red Sox wrapping up the series today here at Fenway Park in Boston. When we come back, Andre Knott will join us with the story of Danny Salazar meeting 2 of his idols here in Boston. One he'll be facing in the lineup today. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by WB Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by your local Toyota dealers, visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. A cool Sunday afternoon at Fenway Park in Boston as the Indians and Red Sox wrap up this 3-game series. It's the rubber match between these two clubs. Carlos Santana digging in. He'll lead it off for the Tribe against right-hander Rick Porcello, who brings a 6-2 record with a .351 ERA into this afternoon's affair. First pitch high and wide, ball one, and we are underway. Indians have won 5 out of 6, 12 out of their last 18. They start play a game and a half back of front-running Chicago in the AL Central. They'll head to the Windy City for a 4-game series tomorrow. Santana takes a strike, and that will even the count. Boston at 26-17. They've dropped 3 of their last 5, and they currently sit 1 game behind Baltimore in the AL East. Porcello, the former Tiger, delivers down low, 2 balls and a strike. He's having a terrific season thus far for the Red Sox, and it's a Boston pitching staff that as a whole is 9th in the American League with a .411 earned run average. Santana trying to bunt to beat the shift, but he fouls it off. It's an interesting Red Sox situation with their pitching. We'll get to that in a moment as you look at the Indians starting lineup presented by Progressive. Red Sox are dead last in walks. They're averaging almost 4 walks per 9 innings, and yet they lead the league in strikeouts, averaging almost 9 punch-outs per 9 innings. Santana punches one toward left, but it's going to hang for Swihart, who makes the grab, 1 away.
Well, let's go over our Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher, Rick Porcello. As you mentioned, he's having a good year, 6-2, .351 earned run average. Coming off his shortest start, snapped a streak of 15 straight starts of 6 innings. When he faced Kansas City, went just 5 innings, 8 hits. That was a loss in his last start, but he's been very good against the Indians in his career, 9-4.
Now Jason Kipnis takes a first pitch strike. Jason 2 for 9 in the series. That 3-run homer on Friday night propelled the Indians to a series opening win. And a hanging breaking ball fouled right back. Over his last 11 games, Kipnis batting .333 with 7 runs scored and 10 runs batted in. And a foul straight back on a high heater.
You know, Porcello, a guy that you think of as a sinker baller, you know, gets a lot of ground balls, but he gets a lot of strikeouts on that pitch right there, the high fastball as well. 49 strikeouts on the season, just 12 walks.
Goes up high with the heater again, but it's too far out of the zone. Yeah, I suppose you're looking down for that sinker, and all of a sudden he raises your eye level and you just can't catch up to it.
It surprises you, and he has enough on it to get it by you.
And now the count evens at 2-2 as once again Kipnis able to lay off a high fastball. And another foul back.
Porcello has not walked more than 2 batters in any of his last 12 starts. So, you know, you've got to go up there and you got to be ready to put anything in play.
John Farrell has the Red Sox playing well in the month of May. Down low on a full count. Boston has won 10 of their last 12 here at home.
Yeah, they've been scoring a lot of runs.
Payoff pitch hit well to deep left field. Swihart back, he'll play it off the monster. Nice bare hand grab, and he'll hold Kipnis to a long 1-out single.
Yeah, typical Fenway Park single right there off the left field monster. Nice approach there by Kip. He went outside the zone on a pitch that was elevated and hit it to left field. Swihart played that ball pretty well. One hopper off the wall to hold Jason to a single.
And now Francisco Lindor, 5th in the American League in batting average. He's tied for 4th with 53 hits on the year. And the Indians have Porcello out of the stretch. Indians didn't have a base runner yesterday until the 5th inning. Didn't get their first hit until there were 2 out in the 7th inning. One of our keys to the game today is get some early base runners, and they've already accomplished that. Lindor smokes it into right field. Kipnis will hit second. He'll head to third. And the Indians have him at the corners with 1 out in the 1st inning.
That's what I'm looking for, some early runs. Nice job by Francisco Lindor finding that hole, sending Kipnis to third. Lindor with 17 multi-hit games this year. He starts off on a good note today. Back-to-back singles for Kipnis, Lindor, and now an opportunity to get on the board. And it's going to be Napoli that's going to have to give him that chance. He's had a tough series.
Napoli 0 for 9 with 6 strikeouts in his return to Fenway. But a chance to do some early damage here. And he bloops this one right field, but slicing foul. Usually if Napoli likes that first pitch and gets after it, good things happen. He's a guy that sees more pitches than anybody. But getting deep into counts doesn't always equate to success for Mike. A little bit low, 1-1. Napoli was really on a pretty good roll. He was batting .320 in the month of May. And then all of a sudden the bottom fell out. He's gone 0 for his last 15. But that is life sometimes with a power hitter. You have to live with some of those streaks. And a swing and a miss, 1 and 2.
Well, yes, when you're a swing and miss guy, you do. When they get hot, they can, drive them in bunches. But when they're not, right now, that's his zone right there. They throw a lot of pitches up in the strike zone that Mike cannot catch up with, but he gets after. Right now, you got to change your approach and get that runner in from third base somehow, some way.
Interesting, Hanley Ramirez went to the mound there. Porcello backed all the way off the mound.
Maybe talking to him about the situation of Lindor running in this situation.
The 2 strikes. Lindor not running, and Napoli fouls it back. Jason Kipnis at third base. Lindor at first. 1 out. And Mike Napoli in the hole, the ball and 2 strikes. Just outside, good eye by Napoli, but that is also a pitch that we have seen him be vulnerable to, because sometimes I don't know that he gives up on that pitch, but he'll take a lot of those pitches on the outside edge, and if they hit the spot, he can get rung up.
Well, maybe that's a setup pitch for something else down the road, going just a little bit off the plate, trying to get him to chase or going for the strikeout. There it is.
Strikes it out, 2 away.
Exactly what Porcello was looking for. This one he stayed down and maybe cut it a little bit. ran away, gets Napoli to swing at it. Now let's set that Sox defense behind Porcello, Swihart in left, Bradley center, Betts in right. Shaw at third, Bogaerts at short, Pedroia at second. Ramirez is at first, Vasquez doing the catching.
Jose Ramirez 0 for 4 in the series with an RBI. That came Friday night. He did not play yesterday till late as a defensive replacement more than anything. Indians suffered their largest margin of defeat yesterday. And the ironic thing is they just had some of their biggest margin of victories in that 5-game win streak. So Terry Francona was getting everybody into those ball games. Yesterday, just in reverse. Now the 1-0. And he pops him up. Indians cannot take advantage of their early fortune, and the Red Sox are coming to bat.
The bottom of the first inning. Danny Salazar is going to have a special start here at Fenway Park because on Friday when he did his bullpen session, he was able to have his favorite countryman watch him. As Pedro Martinez watched him, he told me it was the first time he was ever nervous during a bullpen session. He grew up wanting to be him. He's so excited to be here. The other thing he's excited about, he gets to go against David Ortiz for possibly the last time in his career. He says when he was a little kid, he was 12, 13 years old, didn't know if baseball was a thing he was going to play, guys. He says he'd watch Big Papi and he'd watch Martinez, and that's what made him realize he wanted to be a big league player.
All right, thanks a lot, Andre. You got to imagine, Rick, there's going to be some special feelings for Salazar today.
Well, you would think so, as Danny is our Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher. Salazar is making his 9th start today, coming off a dandy against Cincinnati back in Cleveland, 7 1/3 innings, 5 hits, just the 1 run, struck out 8. You got a good pitcher going against a good lineup. This should be a nice matchup this afternoon.
Boston leads the league with a .295 batting average.
Yes.
They lead the league in runs, triples, doubles, and they're 7th in home runs. But that's slightly misleading because lately they have been on an absolute home run binge.
21 consecutive games. Well, and you're going up against the best pitcher in this league as far as giving up the fewest amount of hits.
39 homers in their last 25 games. That's the most in the majors during that span. Uribe fields the ground ball cleanly. 1 down. Boston starting 9 for John Farrell after Betts. It's Pedroia, then Bogaerts, David Ortiz, Hanley Ramirez. Jackie Bradley Jr. is on another planet right now, leading the league with a .342 batting average. Travis Shaw, Blake Swihart, Christian Vasquez rounded out. Dustin Pedroia. has had a hit in each of the first 2 games of this series. And his batting average right at an even 300 on this, the 22nd day of May. The old thinking in baseball is that you get to Memorial Day, the quarter-mile point is that's pretty much where the Indians are at now, 40 games under the belt. You've got a pretty good idea of what kind of team you have. Checked his swing and it's foul. Now the good news for Cleveland is they're a lot better off than they were a year ago. They're over 500. They're right there at the top of the division standings. And they have yet, by far, to play their best baseball of the season. We've seen glimpses of it.
Right.
In a recent 5-game streak.
You got Carrasco on his way back. I mean, you miss guys like that when you haven't had him.
Outfield has still been a fluid situation. Number of different center fielders with Tyler Naquin, Rajay Davis.
Well, with Brantley, the missing key to that.
Yeah.
I mean, your best hitter out of your middle part of the lineup.
The 2-2. Full foul. If they can get both Brantley and Carrasco back and contributing at a high level, then
keep them back. You know, just, yeah, get them back healthy.
Just missing outside in a full count. Marvin Hudson calling the balls and strikes today, and he says this one just a tad low, I guess.
Yeah, it's a tough pitch to lay off.
And Pedroia, who swings as hard as anybody, fouls that one straight back. I think early in his career that it was his swing was maybe misleading to some. They thought he was swinging out of his shoes. He generates a lot of bat speed, but when you watch the breakdown of his swing through the hitting zone, it looks like every other hitter in baseball.
Well, he loves the high fastball. He's not a very big guy, but he can generate very good bat speed. And he's a tough guy. He can put up a quality at bat, and I don't care how hard you throw.
The 3-2, and he walked it.
Let's take a look at the Indians defense, brought to you by Jeep. Behind Danny Salazar today, it'll be Ramirez in left field, Davis at center, Chisenhall in right, Uribe at third, Lindor at short, Kipnis is at second, Napoli at first with Gomes catching.
Danny Salazar can pile up the strikeouts with the best of them, but at times the walks can get the best of him. Xander Bogaerts, second in the American League with a .339 batting average. Red Sox own 3 of the top 10 batting averages in the AL.
Yeah, they have 3 of the top 4 RBI guys. Offensively, yes, they've got a really good lineup, and it's mixed, as we talked about yesterday, with younger players and some veterans.
I think a guy like Jackie Bradley and Travis Shaw have really made this lineup, though. When you get contributions from guys that maybe you weren't necessarily counting on, then all of a sudden it's deep and there are no breaks for the pitcher.
Well, how about Travis Shaw? He wasn't even supposed to be in that lineup. He was supposed to go to the minor leagues this year because of Pablo Sandoval. And he comes to spring training and ends up winning the job outright. Sandoval, of course, had surgery with his shoulder, had problems, and he's on the DL for the year. So it's a good thing that Shaw is around.
And Jackie Bradley hit .249 last year, a .198 2 years ago. Down low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So their lineup is definitely imposing. And the numbers back it up. 1 on, 1 out here in the first. And they're making Salazar throw a lot of pitches here. Two and two.
Well, sometimes it takes Danny a little bit to get a feel, you know, for that breaking ball early in the game, for that changeup early in the game. There's a couple of starts we've seen him where he has a tough time commanding the fastball. He's just got to settle in a little bit earlier with this lineup.
And the 2-2 is line to left, a base hit.
Got a changeup right there. Bogaerts did and turned on it, so they know that's an excellent pitch for Salazar, and that was in off the plate. He pulls the hands in, and that's a pretty good job of hitting right there. So now it's the Red Sox turn. They have first and second and just 1 out. And here comes Salazar's wish to face a former countryman in David Ortiz.
David Ortiz isn't fading into the sunset either. He's going out with tremendous numbers this year so far. He's second in the American League in RBIs and doubles, leading the league in slugging percentage, and tied for first with 28 extra base hits. Threw that fastball by him, and it's 1-1. Two aboard with 1 out in the bottom of the first. Outfield straightaway deep. 3 on the right side of the infield. And he beats the shift anyway. Coming around third, Pedroia will come home. He will score on his way to third as Bogaerts and the Red Sox lead it 1-0. Ortiz with his 35th run batted in on the year.
It looked like it might have been a slider to Ortiz. He threw the fastball by him, and he throws him a little slider down there and caught too much of the plate. And you can see he gets it past Kipnis, and that'll send him to first and third. So left-handers have had a tough time hitting off Danny Salazar. That's just the 12th hit given up to lefties, which came out to a 126 average. But Boston again gets back on the board in the first inning.
Well, they've outscored the opposition 45-15 since April 11th in the first inning.
Yeah, and they're going to add to that. So they're going to take a lead early and see if he can minimize damage here.
He hasn't given up many hits this year, and he's already given up back-to-back singles in the first. Now Hanley Ramirez. And that's low, ball 1. Outside 2-0. Hanley Ramirez batting in the 5 spot in this lineup. Pretty good spot to be in when you've got Ortiz in front of you. And now, after John Farrell juggled the lineup, he's got Jackie Bradley sitting behind him.
Yes, he does. Well, and Hanley.
And he hits Salazar with the ball. And everybody's safe. Another run comes home.
I want to check it out and see where he got him on the foot. He's not feeling too good right now. That was a P hit right back at him. And it kicked up in the air, and you could see the spin it had because Lindor could not catch up with it. That's an infield single, so 3 straight hits. They get their second run, and now the concern is for Danny Salazar, who's laying on the ground. Don't know exactly where that ball hit him.
Looks like the back of the left leg.
Or the ankle. Maybe somewhere off the foot. But boy, that thing shot straight up into the air. Left calf, maybe? I don't know. Let's see. He's limping. That's not a good sign. Yeah, right off the calf, maybe on the inside of the shin. That's going to hurt. That'll leave a bruise. That went straight up in the air. In comes Lindor, and he had to barehand it, but he couldn't make the play. We'll see if that tightens up as the day goes on. He's right now in some pain.
James Quinlan looking at Salazar. Terry Francona checking him out as well.
It doesn't matter. It went straight up in the air, and he didn't jump up and down at the start. But he sure is feeling it. He's just trying to get some feeling back in the leg.
He's going to try to give it a go here.
Should be fine.
Doesn't seem to show any ill effects. He wants one more to be sure. And he's good to go. But he's far from out of the inning, and the Red Sox have already scored twice. First and second, 3 straight hits in the inning. And remember, Salazar, the most hits he's allowed in a game is 5, and that came in his last start.
Well, this is an offense that yesterday, that's how they got Trevor Bauer. 5 consecutive hits in an inning. They got to him for a 3-run inning back in the 3rd yesterday. Well, they're coming right out here in the 1st. The last 4 have reached. 1 via the walk. The other 3 have been singles.
Jackie Bradley Jr. with a 26-game hitting streak. Tops in the American League with a .342 batting average. Tied for 3rd in RBIs. Leads the league in triples with 4. Skips out of the way.
Yeah, Bradley was hitting in the 7th spot in the first 2 games of this series. He was moved up after they pitched around him a couple of times yesterday in situations, which they were smart to do.
Well, they walked him 5 times in the first 2 games, so John Farrell figured, I needed to pitch to this guy, so what can we do? Well, let's move him up.
It's only been 1 space, though.
And it's 3-0. And this is not going well for Danny Salazar. Catches the outside part of the plate.
I figured that, you know, the way he's going, you would give him a 3-0 green light in that situation. Maybe he didn't like it.
You know, that's the other thing about Bradley is you don't necessarily think of him as a power hitter. You look at the high batting average, the triples, but with those 8 home runs, that's as many as anybody on the Indians ball club. Santana leads the Tribe with 8 home runs. Ortiz at second, Ramirez at first, with 1 out in the first, and a 3-2 pitch. And he's walked another. The bases are loaded.
He's going to go with a fastball down and in, and it's just a little bit too low. Now the bases are loaded again. Red Sox lead the world with 4 grand slams already. Had one in last night's ball game late.
Travis Shaw is 5th in the league in extra base hits. Tied for 4th with 15 doubles. And takes a strike over the outside corner.
Salazar already 32 pitches and just 1 out here in the first.
And he misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Back and threw it by him at 97 miles an hour. And a count 1-2.
Yeah, you see, Shaw tried to hit that one out of the ballpark, no doubt. He had a little uppercut to that swing, and that ball got by him in a hurry.
Now the 1-2. Swung on and missed. He strikes him out, 2 down.
Just what Salazar needed was a strikeout in that situation. Let's make this our Circle K strikeout. Danny goes away with the pitch, had a little run to it going away, gets the swing and miss for the 2nd out, so it stops a string of 5 consecutive reaching for Boston. And a chance to just keep it a 2-run inning here.
Blake Swihart, the batter, a switch hitter, 0 for 6 in the series. Blake's got that old school approach. No batting gloves. Does he have batting gloves on? No. No batting gloves. No batting gloves is old school. I don't know about the tattoos. That might not have been. Not that many tattoos were old school, huh?
No. Thought he had sleeves on.
Got a lot of ink on those arms. Outside. 2-1. This is eerily reminiscent of an earlier version of Danny Salazar, where the consistency of the commanding of the pitches just wasn't there. Threw it by him, 2-2. But this will be his 40th pitch of the inning.
That's the killer right there, is that, you know, how much longer can you stay in the game? You have a 40 pitch first inning.
And after getting drilled in the left calf, you wonder if that's going to pose a problem as we go along. The 2-2 strikes him out to end the inning. And the Red Sox leave him loaded, but they strike for a pair. And they lead it 2-0 after 1. Keys to the game brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Indians got a couple of base runners in the first, but could not convert. Danny Salazar already roughed up by Boston. Yan Gomes will lead it off, then Lonnie Chisenhall and Juan Uribe. Gomes riding a 6-game hitting streak. Takes down low, ball 1. .59 degrees at game time, and the breeze blowing straight in from center field.
Normally that's what you like to see if you're a pitcher. You see that wind blowing in. This is a small enough ballpark to begin with.
Gomes behind 1-2. Pop, right field. Mookie Betts moving over to the line and makes the catch just
the win
inside the line, which is almost right up against the seats down that right field line.
Just what we were talking about. He thought that ball was just an easy fly out to him, but you can see the wind pushing it toward the seats coming in from center field.
So one away for Lonnie Chisenhall, who has gone 0 for 11 at the plate last few games. Pop to left.
That's going to be pushed into the seats.
Swihart makes the catch, smashing into the wall and hangs on 2 away.
And it was a foul ball to begin with, and you know, we said there's not that much territory down the left field line, but he was able to get over there and make the catch. This is going to be a better angle. You watch him running over, that ball slicing away from him, and by the time he can make the, that was it. He called it a foul ball. It should have been ruled a fair ball, it looked like to me. Didn't matter, he caught it.
And there are 2 away for Juan Uribe. They said he went. And it's 0-2. Uribe on the road is even more aggressive than he is at home. He's got just a .224 on base percentage in road games this year. Not a guy that walks a lot to begin with, but one-two pitch. Out of play.
Well, he ended up getting the first hit in yesterday's game in the 7th inning. Fastball out over the plate. He doubled the right center.
Overall, the Indians batting .254 as a team. That's 5th best batting average in the league. They're 3rd in runs scored, 4th in doubles, 5th in stolen bases. But down early, 2-0. Just inside that time. Full count. The payoff pitch is hit well deep left center field and off the monster. And that'll get Uribe into second base with a 2-out double.
Yeah, he was down in the count 0-2 and he worked his way back to a full count. Got a pitch to his liking. Let's see what it is. A little, I guess it was a fastball, maybe a cutter that went a long way to left center field off the monster. So Uribe, a 2-out double, his 5th.
And the good news is Rajai Davis is at the plate, and he's the 2nd best hitter in the American League with runners in scoring position, hitting a cool .400. And for a guy that's primarily batted 9th or leadoff, don't necessarily think, well, it got him, nicked him. Yeah, he'll take his base. So the tying run aboard.
That ball kept bearing in on him, and he just let the bat go. It's hard to see from that angle, but he ends up taking his base, so that'll give Santana an opportunity now with 2 on. And Red Sox are looking at it like they want to challenge it, like the ball never hit them. John Farrell on the top step looking down in there. That's an awfully tough play. You know what I mean? To read off a camera if the ball hits you. He wants it checked. And you would think early in this ball game, you know, I don't know.
Did you see anything?
I couldn't. No, I didn't.
Well, let's take another look.
Maybe that elbow. Maybe the elbow. I don't think that's going to be
the elbow.
Yeah, is that enough to overturn it? Is what I'm saying. He's got a little pad there.
Or are the Red Sox challenging that it didn't hit him at all?
That's what I'm saying. They're saying.
I thought maybe they thought it hit his bat for a foul ball.
No, I'm thinking they're saying it never hit him.
All right, so they're challenging the fact that they didn't think it hit him.
Right. I mean, it's tough even when it does. The umpire quickly came up. Watch, he's at first base. That's a weird challenge for me at this point of the ball game, because now they're out.
You're not kidding.
You know, with 2 outs, and I mean, it's awfully tough to tell on camera if a ball hits a guy or it doesn't. So I mean, it didn't take them long. So they
usually what they go by umpires, it's the sound. You can hear it. You can hear that slight little tick before it hits the glove.
I know. Well, it stays the same. They're out of challenges, and now Santana with an opportunity with 2 outs.
And Carlos Santana fly to left. His first time up. Carlos has hit in 3 straight games with 3 home runs. This one up out of play to the right. And he's in the hole 0-2. Our great clip of the game from yesterday. Santana going up and over for a home run.
Yeah, that was 2 outs in the 9th inning. That cost the shutout, but too little too late.
Boy, that was a good pitch.
Yeah.
Santana is not happy that he didn't quite connect it.
Well, for an 0-2 pitch like that, when you get a swing, and you know, you rarely will you see a decent pitch like that. He fouled it straight back. He's upset with himself.
But that looked like it was up. Tough to get to that one.
Yeah, get on top of that one.
Not like it was a meatball right down the middle that he didn't hammer.
Unless he swung at that pitch and he felt maybe it was out of the strike zone high.
Could be.
And he's telling himself to lay off that pitch because that's what they're trying to do. Make him get the ball down.
Gets away and the runners will advance.
Well, there you
Uribe
go.
to third, Davis down to second.
Now, nice little base hit, ties the ball game. And that, I don't think that ball bounced, man.
No. It might be a wild pitch only in the fact that he missed his target, but I mean, that clearly is a ball that was off the glove of Vasquez, but
That's right
there.
there.
That's got to be a pass ball. My goodness.
Absolutely. That just went off the end of the glove.
He couldn't explain to you how he didn't catch that ball. It was right there. And a bouncer that he swallows up and saves his pitcher a run that time.
He catches that one and missed the easy one. I mean, come on. And back-to-back pitches. This one's down in the dirt. He smothers a man on third base, and the other one was right there. Now Shaw going over to the right side as they do with 2 strikes. Bogart's coming back to the shortstop side.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 aboard, both in scoring position for Santana. Any other ballpark, you'd say base hit gets you 2 here. Not a guarantee at Fenway if he punches one through the left side. Inside, a full count.
So another guy down in the count 0-2 that works it back to 3-2, just like Uribe did when 2 outs.
Yeah.
He was down in the count 0-2, got it back to full before hitting a P up the left center field wall.
And the payoff pitch. Santana smokes it foul. Boy, was he out in front of that baby.
That was a changeup. Pulled the string on him.
Jason Kipnis would be next as Santana awaits the 3-2 from Porcello. Ball 4, the bases are loaded. Santana with his 27th walk on the year. He's second in the American League in drawing walks. And that's going to send pitching coach Carl Willis out to the mound. All of this happened with 2 outs and nobody on base.
Yes, indeed. And I mean, they just put 2 on the board. You want to come out and have a nice inning. And he started out that way, getting Gomes and Chisenhall on easy pop-ups. But then the double after having Uribe down 0-2. Davis, he hit early in the count. Santana had he down 0-2, and he walks him. So the tough thing to do is with 2 outs is try and score and get a rally going. Well, he's helped set it up himself with the hit batter and the walk. But can Kipnis come out and get a base hit?
Well, he had a base hit his first time up off the green monster in left field. 3 for 10 in the series now, as you see there. Kipnis, though, over his last 11 games, has driven in 10 runs. Big opportunity here to get right back in it now. And he takes ball 1. And just as Danny Salazar did in the top half of this inning, Rick Porcello making a lot of pitches. Or I should say in the bottom half of the first inning for Salazar. This is the 26th pitch of the inning, and it's in for a strike to even the count. Kip looking for his first hit of the year with the bases full. And that's low and inside. 2-1. And that sets up what could be the pitch of the at-bat right here. You know, Porcello doesn't want to fall behind to 3-1. And he gets him to roll over on it.
Foul.
It's foul.
Boy, that's a break.
Inches.
That is a break right there. You're right. By inches is right. Hanley looking like it was a fair ball. He's standing out on the bag, and nothing you can do about it. That's good for Kipnis. He gets another swing.
It's not a challengeable play anyway.
Right.
But you can go back to that decision they made with Rajai Davis to burn a challenge. They're done. You cannot challenge a play now. They can ask for an umpire to take a look at something, but here's a 2-2. And Kipnis punches one right field. That is going to get down for a base hit. Uribe scores. Davis comes home to tie the game, and Santana goes to third. Jason Kipnis, with his first hit of the year in the bases loaded situation, drives home 2 with a clutch 2-out hit.
Well, the Indians are doing something that's very hard to do. Get rallies going and score runs when you get 2 out and nobody on, but they're able to do it. 4 straight reach right now, and he's not out of the woods yet. Santana goes to third. Kipnis stayed at first. He has his 25th, 26th ribby.
It's funny, you and I and Mike Pachta, we were looking
Yes,
before the
we were.
game about low leverage versus high leverage. Low leverage, bases loaded. Low leverage is bases empty, 2 outs.
Right.
And how do the Indians do it? The hard way. And then he comes up with a high leverage situation and gets the key hit. And now Francisco Lindor looking to keep it going. He had a solid line drive single to right field his first time up. Tied at 2 here in the second inning. And Lindor pulls it foul.
Well, how big was that little foul ball, the pitch before on Kipnis? Oh, 2 count. See what they call here. Maybe they may want to start Kipnis.
Up high, snap throw to first. Jason back with a dive. I go back to the at-bat Uribe had. You know, we just mentioned this on-base percentage on the road is frightfully low. Doesn't take a lot of pitches, doesn't work the count. And what does he do? Falls behind 0-2 and works the count to 3-2 and hammers the ball for a double, and it jump starts the inning that way. Kipnis goes, and the 1-2 hit on the ground. Pedroia gobbles it up and throws him out. Well, the Indians strike back here in the second inning. They do it the hard way with a 2-out, 2-run hit with the bases loaded, and we're back to even. in leading the league in opponent's batting average, hits per 9 innings, second in ERA, third in strikeouts per 9 innings. But those numbers could be in peril if he is unable to turn it around. And that first inning was a rough one, but he struck out the last 2 hitters, and we'll see if maybe that gets him on track as he's set to face Christian Vasquez in the bottom of the second.
The offense came right back and answered, which is very big, and they did it in a way that you normally don't do it. So they got him back to even. So let's go, Danny. You got a fresh start.
Two and 0.
And remember, he had a 40-pitch first inning.
Foul right back.
You know, guys, during that in-between innings, and then as that inning went longer, they made sure that they stretched out that calf as much as they could. They had him doing toe raises. They had the rubber bands to keep that leg loose. They've done everything they could to keep him loose and didn't want him sitting down in between innings.
You think it'll help?
We'll find out. You know, it's going to end up tightening it. It's going to end up tightening up before the day's over with. But I mean, you do everything you can to keep it warm, keep the blood flowing in there, because you know you set it down, it's going to hurt eventually.
Well, he keeps throwing full counts up there. He's not going to be around long. Back, and Gomes gives it a look, but it's out of play.
Ramirez up to the plate and drives in a run after it goes off the inside of his calf, I believe. He went down, and they're going to be doing that all day long, trying to keep it loose.
It's his plant leg. From the outfield grass, Kipnis spins around and throws him out, 1 away. Now the problem for Danny is he needs some outs on 3 pitches or less. I mean,
that's an 8-pitch at bat to the 9th place
hitter.
hitter.
Yeah.
I know it. I know it. Well, his command today is off. He's not the same guy, whether he's overthrowing or what, I don't know, but it hasn't been there. He got out of the stretch early, and as I said, sometimes early in a ball game he has a tough time finding it, but usually he can get through his innings. But today was a lot of work.
Mookie Betts grounded out his first time up. And now 2 quick strikes. Up and away. Betts 3rd in runs scored, 4th in hits in the American League. Foul right back. Betts has hit in 11 straight here at Fenway. And that's going to be out of play on the right side. Another packed house as usual. A 1-2 pitch. Slowly tapped. Uribe went to the bare hand attempt and couldn't come up with it. And Betts is aboard. It'll be an infield single for the Red Sox right fielder.
Well, he felt he had to go with the bare hand or he wouldn't have had a chance, but it's always a tough play when you've got to go with your bare hand. Coming off the grass or the dirt, there's always spin on it. He can't come up with it. It'll go as an infield single.
And now Betts is hitting 12 straight at home. Dustin Pedroia walked and scored in the first. Betts has stolen 8. He has not been caught yet this year. And he count 1-1 on Pedroia.
Yeah, this is a team. They have an outstanding over 90% base stealing percentage. It's not a team that runs a lot. They, I'm sure, pick and choose certain counts because their hitters are so good. You don't want to run into an out when you have a .295 team batting average.
To left field, Ramirez coming on, makes the backhanded grab. 2 down.
Well, Indians baseball is live with the MLB.com at-bat app. You can stay connected all season with radio broadcast, video highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet.
Xander Bogaerts singled and scored in the first. This guy leads the league in hits with 61.
He's
got another one.
That guy just finds a way to get on base and get base hits. He is now 2 for 2. And Salazar already 5 hits in the first 2 innings, and he's given up. That's the most he's given up in any one game this year is 5, and that was in his last start.
Well, it brings up David Ortiz, who drove in a run his first time up. Began the day second in the American League with now 35 runs batted in. There are only 4 players in the history of Major League Baseball with 500 home runs and 3 World Series rings. Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, Reggie Jackson, and David Ortiz. And still the question, although I don't think it really will be a question, because he's been a designated hitter for just about all of his career, will he be a Hall of Famer? I don't see how he can't be.
Eventually he'll be in there, yes, because there's not a DH that's in there yet. If any of them, this will be the first, I would imagine.
The 2-0 pitch, out of play. Terry Francona admits that he and Ortiz had their ups and downs, their differences. They had to work through some things. But Terry also says, you know, we don't win the World Series without David Ortiz. We don't get to the World Series without David Ortiz. Some of his heroics in the postseason, legendary here in New England. 2 on, 2 out, 2-1 pitch up by 3-1. Swung on and missed, and that was a good pitch that he blew right by him. Gomes can't find the ball still. It was right behind him, but Marvin Hudson kept backing up, and it was behind Marvin Hudson.
Well, he gave it a shot right there. Ortiz did.
He's saying he got a piece of that. I thought he just swung right through it.
It looked like he swung right through it.
Well, now it's a full count, and the runners will be off. And now David Ortiz wants a little more time. He takes more time than probably anybody during his at-bats. And the payoff is popped back out of play. Now Gomes out to talk to Salazar. This game is an hour and 8 minutes long, or I should say an hour and 8 minutes old, and we are in the bottom of the second inning.
A lot of pitches.
65 already for Salazar.
He's not even in the second yet. That's a boatload.
It's a tough way to go. The runners will be off. The 3-2 pitch to Ortiz is hammered. And it is off. It's going to hit over the fence for a ground rule double.
That's a break.
The Red Sox will get 1 run, and Bogaerts will have to go back to third. But Boston has regained the lead at 3-2.
That's a break. Ground rule double stops Bogaerts from coming in. 18th double for Ortiz. And he just, vicious line drive. One hop into the, I think he even in their bullpen, or did it go above it? Into the seats.
Yeah.
So a 2-out base hit. They retake the lead, make it a 3-2 game.
Well, Danny said he was looking forward to facing Ortiz, but he won't have fond memories of this encounter so far.
Not unless he likes giving up hits.
He's given up more today than in any start this year. And we're in the second inning. Here's Hanley Ramirez, who almost knocked Salazar out of the game his first time up. He had a one-hop seed right back to the mound, and Salazar had it nail him in the left calf. But that was already the third hit of that inning. And now he's given up 3 more here in the second. Bullpen is up for the Indians. And I believe it's Austin Adams who just got called back from AAA Columbus. Ramirez, did he go? He did, says James Roy down at first. And it's 1-1.
Well, there's Adams. He's up getting loose. And, you know, after the Indians were able to come back and answer that Boston 2-run bottom of the first, Salazar has done a good job up until this point to have a shutdown inning. It's the first run he's allowed. But it's one of those days. It's just something about it. He's not sharp at all.
And Ramirez with a liner to left right at Jose Ramirez to end the inning. Red Sox answer back, and they now lead it 3-2. as we go now to the third inning. And a reminder to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Mike Napoli will lead it off. Then it's Jose Ramirez and Yan Gomes. Napoli struck out his first time up. And Rick Porcello delivers high, ball one. A tad low, 2-1. Now the 2-2. Napoli fouls at third base side. Indians have a chance to do something today that they have not done in over a decade. That's win a series here at Fenway Park. Last time they did it was in 05 when they took 2 out of 3. Napoli down on strikes yet again. One down here in the third.
Well, kids tickets start at just $10 for kids 12 and under with the purchase of an adult ticket. And the tickets are located in the family deck at Progressive Field, home to the expanded kids clubhouse. Kids tickets only available at Indians.com.
Jose Ramirez popped up on the infield his only time up. And he's trying to snap out of an 0 for 12 slump. You were mentioning that Ramirez, when he was going really well, had a good short line drive stroke. What causes a swing to get long?
Well, he's hitting underneath the baseball. I mean, this is a guy, he's not strong enough to hit it out as it gets another strikeout here. This one called. He's a guy that has to stay on top of the baseball. Hit line drives, because you start putting it in the air and you're doing the other team a favor. That had a little comeback to it over the plate. You see it running in there, and it was a good pitch.
Two down for Yan Gomes, who flied to right his only time up. Had over 130 pitches thrown in this game, and we're in the top half of the third inning. Porcello gave up 2 hits in the first, but got out of it. 2 hits in the second, and the Indians tagged him for a couple of runs.
And it was in reverse fashion. You figure they would have got him in the first inning when you had first and third and just the 1 out, as opposed to nobody on and 2 outs in the second inning when they scored. But this game's got to settle down. This is starting off like a typical Fenway Park game. You've got to have a little lull in this action.
Outside, he missed. 2-2. You
know, Porcello coming into it, he's been a perfect 4-0 at home this year. Salazar's been pitching great. And what do you know? We've got 5 runs on 10 hits through 2.
Gomes a liner to center, and the Indians go 1-2-3. Jackie Bradley Jr. going to lead it off. He walked his first time up, so nothing's changed, even though John Farrell moved him in the order, moved him up from the 7th spot to the 6th position in the hopes that the Indians would have to pitch to him a little bit more than they have in the first 2 games of the series, in which they've walked him 5 times, but he has still managed to hit in each of the first 2 games to keep his hitting streak alive. It now stands at 26 games. He homered in game 1 of the series. Yesterday, a ground ball that was not an easy play, but a play that forced Jason Kipnis to make a hurried throw, and Santana came off the bag. Two quick strikes on Bradley. And that's a foul ball. Andre, you talked to Terry Francona about Bradley moving in the lineup. What were his thoughts on that?
He said, I don't care about the hit streak. He knew his numbers off the top. He goes, with numbers like that, he goes, if there's somebody underneath him that I don't think can hurt our team as bad as he is, I'm not going to pitch to him. When then I told him that they made the lineup change, and he chuckled. He goes, I figured they'd do something today.
Well, they got Travis Shaw behind him now. Bradley down on strikes. Good pitch by Danny Salazar. Took a little something off, and it gets his 3rd strikeout. On down here in the 3rd.
Yeah, changeup down below the strike zone. Good pitch. That's where you like to see that changeup down.
Travis Shaw struck out his first time up. Shaw, with the bases loaded, was trying to hit one beyond the confines of Fenway Park. And Salazar just took advantage of it. To left field, Jose Ramirez.
That wind's really knocking the ball down here today. That's good for pitching. Hitters don't like it.
Injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk and Elk. Told you this yesterday. Kevin Kiermaier dove for a ball. A couple of broken bones in his hand. That's a tough loss for Tampa, who's been playing better baseball of late. They're sitting at the 500 mark. But Detroit has jumped them today. Tigers on top 6-2 at Comerica. Tigers are climbing back toward that 500 mark. They started the day 20-22 on the year. Blake Swihart looks at a ball outside, and it's 3-0. Confounding.
Yeah, it really is.
Walked Swihart on 4 pitches. After he got the first 2 outs of the inning, it looked like he was just going to breeze right through. And that's going to get the Indians bullpen up again. He's sitting at 80 pitches now.
His 3rd walk of the day. That's the one inning you had a chance. You're getting down to the bottom part of the lineup. You have a chance to have a nice quick inning.
Well, Christian Vasquez grounded out his first time up. Austin Adams once again will get loose for Cleveland in the pen. Slowly chopped to third. Uribe on the run. Throws him out. And the inning is over. 3 complete from Fenway. Red Sox 3, Indians 2. Bottom third of the Indians order due up. It'll be Lonnie Chisenhall, Juan Uribe, and Rajai Davis. When the Indians scored their 2 runs, this was the part of the lineup that got it going with Uribe and Davis. Chisenhall flied to left for the second out in that second inning. Now, Lonnie's walked twice in this series, and yet still only 7 walks and 74 plate appearances coming into today's game.
Hasn't homered yet. Has 4 doubles, 1 triple.
Rick Porcello set him down 1-2-3 in the 3rd inning. Now time called. You know, it's just some days are just like this, aren't they? Just can't ever seem to get started.
Well, yeah. I mean, both guys are having, problems. They're not working quickly.
Snapped his bat. And that's out number 1. If you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them on your mobile device with the all-new Fox Sports Go app. Download it. Take the Indians and Sports Time Ohio with you wherever you go. Juan Uribe with a double and a run scored his first time up. It was a terrific at bat, and it sparked the Indians in the second inning. There were 2 outs, nobody on base when he came to bat. This game kind of reminds me of one of those days you have. You're getting ready to leave the house. You go out to the car. You get in the car. You don't have your car keys. You got to go back in the house. You get your car keys. You go back, and then you realize you forgot your wallet. It's one of those kind of games.
Sunday afternoon at the ballpark. It's a sunny day.
Yeah, now the sun's coming out.
It's amazing.
Smoked to left, fair ball, and
Double.
it hit up into the crowd. That'll be
Double.
at 2 bases. Juan
tell you
Uribe.
what.
I don't think I've seen one skip that hard left before.
I don't know if Shaw got a piece of it or not, but it goes into the seats. His second double. He ought to hit 0-2 more often. Second straight. Does he get a piece of it at third base? Let's look and see. He's diving for it.
Yeah,
Yes,
he did.
He did. The glove kicked it into the
That's
seats.
exactly what happened. Good call. So Juan's got a couple of doubles, and he's in scoring position for Rajai Davis. Rajai hit by a pitch. A glancing blow off his left elbow.
Yeah, and it wasn't hard at all. They challenged it, and at that time I found it, a tough one to challenge.
Yeah, and so now the Red Sox do not have a challenge. Davis pulls it foul. It was one of those deals too. Oh, did you see Jan with the bare hand grab? It's one of those deals too where the call stands. So the replay official looked at it and basically he couldn't tell if it hit him or not. So you stay with the call on the
that's
field.
what I'm saying. I have a tough time when we show people swinging the bat. Do they touch it? Is it a foul ball? You can't really see it. I mean,
can't break it down that much.
No, and it's a tough call to get overturned. Whether it hits a guy, hits the bat, it really is tough. He had a play here, Davis, where he checked his swing the other night, and the ball hit him in the hand, but they said he swung.
Yeah.
And the he ended up he was out. They called him out when they checked. Jim Joyce was the first base umpire.
And there's no challenge on a check swing. So Terry was just kind of out of luck. He went too far. And he strikes out, 2 down. 4th strikeout for Rick Porcello. And we'll go to the top of the order.
Yeah, this is Friday night. You see, he checked his swing. It gets him on the hand. You can see he's in pain. But the first base umpire, Jim Joyce, said he swung. I mean, and we didn't even see the umpire ask for help down there. But the home plate umpire said, you go to first base. Now they're saying, you know, that was the argument, the appeal.
Jim Joyce, veteran umpire, good umpire. He made a bad call. It happens. But what Terry wanted to know in that instance is what's my recourse? What can I do here? And at the end of the day, nothing.
No, no, you really can't.
You're out of luck.
It's just the way it goes. The call stands.
Carlos Santana with a runner at second base. That's the tying run here in the 4th inning.
Send along a happy birthday wish to Wilma Isofona from Chesterland, Ohio, known as Mama Ice. Happy birthday.
I think I still have a couple of Pitzels left.
Do you?
I mean, I ration them out bit by little bit.
She makes us Pitzels often. Very good.
A 3-0 pitch, and Santana swinging away, pulls it foul.
That's a rarity. We don't see Carlos swinging too much 3-0. That's the first time I remember this year.
Well, Vasquez wants to go out for a chat. Well, Rick, not only have the Indians not won a series here at Fenway since '05 when they took 2 out of 3, but another trend they're trying to buck is winning a game when they don't score first. They're just 5-12, and I think they just got that 5th win in that series against Cincinnati. Yeah.
No, didn't they do it Friday night here when they don't score first?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Yeah, Boston scored first in the 1st inning, and they did it Friday night here.
(3-1) pitch. Right at Hanley Ramirez. That'll end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 3-2 Boston. his groove on. Bottom of the fourth. 3-2. Red Sox lead at our T-Mobile greater coverage of baseball. Ichiro 4 for 4 last night. He's the oldest player to do that since Pete Rose in 1986. And that was the year Pete Rose. Oh no, 85 was the year he passed Ty Cobb.
Well, he wants to get to that 3,000 hit mark here.
Redbird says he's already picked up 2 hits today, so now he's 44 away from the 3,000 hit mark.
Well, he's like a machine. Back in his younger day, when he'd get 1, it seems like he'd get 3, and he'd just continue to roll. Now that's a guy who I think maybe 4 or 5 times has had 50 hits in a month. Remember we talked about Kipnis's month last year in the month of May. Ichiro is the guy that has done it, I think, more than anybody.
Well, when he first came to the U.S., what was that, 2001? He was just, it was like you couldn't get him out. He'd just flick it left, flick it, pull it right.
Magic wand.
Hit a home run every once in a while. They said in batting practice, he used to just put on a display early in his career. They said
but he never tries to pull the ball. Everything's slapped the other way up the middle. You know, you fool him. He's on the run every time he's going out of the box. How many infield hits? A lot of bunt hits. He could get down the line.
Well, Mookie Betts singled and scored the go-ahead run in the second inning. Now the 1-2 pitch. Rip foul. Oh, that's a tough play for the ball girl, but she stayed with it.
She gets in front of it, boy. I'll tell you what. Come on. Those hands. Get that glove going.
Now the 1-2 pitch. Pop back out of play. You know, Ichiro had almost 1,300 hits in the Japanese league before he came to the U.S.
So you're looking at 4,300 hits total when he gets to that 3,000 mark here.
And a 1-2 pitch got him looking. 4th strikeout for Salazar. 1 down here in inning number 4.
That ball stays. That's a generous call there. That ball looked like it was inside a little bit. It runs in off the plate, but he gets the call. So that's a strikeout that I'm sure Danny will gladly take.
Dustin Pedroia checks, and that's called a ball. Well, good chance this will be the last inning for Salazar, unless he can quickly navigate his way through the next 2 hitters, including Pedroia, which he hasn't been able to do yet today, as he's closing in on 100 pitches. Smash to Kipnis from the outfield grass. He throws him out. 2 down.
Well, it'll be Sugardale Dollar Dog Night this Friday when we get home off the road after Chicago on off day Thursday. The Indians are going to take on Adam Jones and the Baltimore Orioles. Plus fans, you can enjoy $2 Miller Lights from 5 to 7 out in the Wright Field District. Visit Indians.com for your tickets. Also, post-game fireworks show for the first one this year.
Well, it's the time of year.
It's coming out, man. Memorial Day weekend.
Xander Bogaerts, 2 for 2. Both singles have been through the left side. I can't tell if Lindor's creeping over that way, trying to maybe shade him a step or two toward the hole. Just missed there, and it's 2-1. Bogaerts a league-leading 62 hits. Nice pitch. After that 95-mile-an-hour fastball was just outside. Into a slider and got him to chase it. And now the 2-2 is pulled foul.
She got another chance at it. Didn't catch it cleanly. I'm keeping my eye on her.
Coach Manning's going to have you running
Come
laps
on.
after the game.
You got to catch this next one. Now you had a couple this inning.
Here's the 2-2 and a foul back.
Well, a ricochet, and you always have to be ready here because the fans, if they don't make the play when you least expect it. Nice.
Bogaerts down swinging, and Salazar retires the side in order for the first time today on his 99th pitch of the afternoon. 3-2 Boston through 4 at Fenway. By Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. 3-2 Red Sox as we go to the 5th inning here at Fenway Park. And the Indians will send Kipnis, Lindor, and Napoli to the plate against Rick Porcello. Porcello has yielded 5 hits. He has walked 1, struck out 4. He's also hit a batter. Kipnis has 2 of those hits, both of them singles. The big one came with 2 outs in the 2nd inning with the bases loaded And he drove in both Indians' runs. Now Jason Fenway back to his old tricks here in Boston. Homered in 3 straight games here as a rookie. And with the big home run Friday night. To center field. Back goes Bradley.
Not today.
That got knocked down in a hurry, didn't it?
Yep.
One away.
Just one of those days, man. The wind blowing in Fenway. You know, at times, this ballpark can play very small. It's like Wrigley. There's times, you know, where Wrigley can also.
You're right.
You know, that wind coming in off the lake can knock a lot of pitches down, and today it's doing it here.
Francisco Lindor is 1 for 2. Lindor with 54 hits on the year.
Nice curveball there.
Really was.
Take him off that sinker, fastball, or whatever.
Fastball in and off the plate. And a slow curve again. Oh, what a bare hand grab play by Vasquez. If it hits the ground, it's going to be an infield hit for Lindor. But he made that play the only way he could.
That was a nice play for a catcher to come out from behind home plate and make a bare. I don't think I've seen that too often. This guy bounces out. He realized Porcello was coming in like he wanted it, but he barehands it. Boy, that's a pretty good play right there. You're right. I think if that ball hits grass, it's probably going to go as a base hit.
Well, here's Mike Napoli. He takes a strike. You asked before the game, we went and looked it up. Of the 61 strikeouts for Napoli, 24 have been called.
Okay.
Wow. That's a tough play. I'm going to give her a break on that one.
No doubt. Base hit. That's a tough one. She's had some tough ones today. Well, here you go. Another 2-strike count.
Pulls that one into the seats. Porcello's already over 100 pitches. And Austin Adams up for the 3rd time today, so it looks like he'll be coming in to replace Salazar. And the 2-2 pitch struck him out. 5th K for Porcello, and halfway through, the Red Sox lead it 3-2. 3-2, Red Sox lead at bottom of the 5th inning. Our Levin Furniture player profile is on David Ortiz in his final season. Says he'll retire when this year is over. The Red Sox dedicate 16 pages in their media guide to David Ortiz. He is 2 for 2 today, a single, a double.
You got to go back and
2 runs batted in.
think about when the Twins had David Ortiz. How do they get rid of him?
There's a long fly ball, deep right, goodbye. Ortiz takes Salazar deep. Austin Adams was warming in the bullpen, and I thought maybe Terry Francona was going to go to Adams to start this inning with Salazar already over 100 pitches. Well, he elects to stay with him, and Ortiz takes him out.
Well, he's 3 for 3. He's a single, a double, and a homer right now. That makes it a 4-2 game. The third home run that Salazar has given up. And for Ortiz, it's his 11th. So Danny said he wanted to face Ortiz. Andre, you're going to have to ask him after the ball game. How much fun did he have?
Does that fall into the category of be careful what you wish for?
That's exactly what it falls underneath. You know, Terry Francona said something else about him. He says, since he said he's going to retire, it's almost like he's relaxing. He's out there playing softball right now.
Yeah.
You know, he's relaxed and just going out there playing.
That's exactly right. He's enjoying it. He's enjoying his time on the field. You can just tell.
Now, do you guys think Salazar staying out here because of how much baseball is left over the rest of this road trip? I know talking to Tito this morning and bringing Austin Adams up and said, look, we got a lot of baseball over the next couple of days. We got to kind of space these guys out.
Well, I think, yes, they sent him back out there. There's a lot of innings to go in this ball game here.
I agree with you, but why is Austin Adams up then for the 3rd time already?
Well, I don't know, because Austin Adams is a reliever anyway, so he's not going to come in for, he's only going to pitch, what, max 2 innings, if that? He was closing down in AAA, wasn't he?
Yep. Ramirez swung at a pitch that was up and at him.
You got a winnable game, and anytime we go into our bullpen in the 5th inning, it hasn't fared well this year.
Tommy Hunter now up in the Cleveland bullpen. Well, I know Terry's worst case scenario was probably in that 2nd inning when it didn't look like maybe Danny would get out of that inning. When you've got a doubleheader tomorrow in Chicago, the last thing you want to think about is having to get into your bullpen that early in the game.
Well, it was Salazar's. He had a 40-pitch first inning. You knew it was not gonna fare well today. I mean, if you can get him through 5 after a 40-pitch first inning, okay. But you're going to have to get out of here with just the 4 runs allowed.
Well, Jackie Bradley walked in the 1st, struck out his last time up. In addition to all of the great numbers that Bradley has put up, he's got the 2nd best home batting average in the American League, hitting .376 at Fenway this year. Keep that hit streak rolling. Number 27 for Bradley as he singles to right field. And that will finally be the end for Danny Salazar.
That'll be Danny's shortest start of the year. He had one earlier this year against Minnesota where he went 4 2/3 innings. This is going to be 4 1/3 this afternoon for Danny. And he allowed 8 hits.
4 runs, plus he'll be responsible for the runner at first base. The Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen for Tommy Hunter. He'll be coming on when we come back. Out with one out here in the inning, and the new pitcher is Tommy Hunter with a runner at first and one down, and he'll be facing Travis Shaw. Bradley takes off, and the pitch is fouled back out of play. Only 5 Red Sox players in franchise history have had a hit streak longer than the 27-game streak now that Jackie Bradley Jr. has. Wade Boggs hit in 28 straight in 1985. Johnny Damon back in 2005 at a 29-game hitting streak. Tris Speaker in 1912 and Nomar Garciaparra in 1997. They hit in 30 straight. And we mentioned the other night, Dom DiMaggio has the longest Red Sox hitting streak at 34 games. That was in 1949. Shaw fouling it back. 0-2. And the 0-2 offering is up and away.
Well, you did say earlier the Sox have won 10 of their last 12 home games, and they've recorded at least 10 hits in 14 of the 16 games, averaging over 8 runs. Now, this is a place that they feel very much at home, very comfortable. And boy, you just got to try and slow things down.
I think the thing that the Boston probably feels good about is that when you've got an offense that isn't relying on any one or couple of guys, they've got 7 guys that are swinging the bats.
More than 20 ribbies.
That'll keep you out of going into an offensive funk.
Well, you get help from all over the place. You know, I don't think right now they're pressing, and they just feel they're a very confident bunch.
I mean, you're going to get shut down. A Corey Kluber can shut you down as he did Friday night. A Chris Sale could come in and shut you down. But then they bounced right back the next day. They didn't let that put them into a tailspin by any stretch. Shaw goes waving at it for out number 2. In-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Indians were down early, 2-0, and then Jason Kipnis with 2 outs and the bases loaded drove in a pair to tie the game. But the Red Sox came right back on a David Ortiz RBI double and then a David Ortiz home run. You keep pitching to him and he's going to keep beating you. That's just the way it goes. He's been doing it his whole career. He has killed the Indians throughout his career, and he's doing it again here today.
Well, that's why right now, very important, you keep it a 2-run game because the Indians have to come back and they're going to have to score.
Blake Swihart takes a look. It's a ball. And the count 2-0. Three and 1 to count on Blake Swihart, who walked on 4 pitches his last time up. And he wraps a single up the middle. Bradley's going to go all the way to third, and going to second base on the throw is Swihart. So now 2 are in scoring position for the Red Sox with 2 down.
Yeah, 3-1 count. He's looking for something that he is going to be able to hit hard. He certainly does up the middle. Davis chooses to go to third base with it. No chance of getting Bradley. So in turn, when he goes to third base, Swihart is just going to follow and get himself into scoring position.
Now Christian Vasquez, the batter. He's 0 for 2. Vasquez 0 for 7 in the series. And Tommy Hunter ties him up with a good fastball. It's 0-2.
Get out of this inning. Still got 2 outs. Get out of it. Keep it a 1-run inning. They've scored in 3 of the 5 first innings. 2 in the first, 1 in the second. Now 1 here in the 5th.
In the dirt, but Gomes kept it in front of him.
Good job. Bradley at third base with good speed. sees that ball trickle away, and he wanted to. He was thinking about it down there at third.
And up and away. And a foul back. By the way, Rick, earlier in the game when Danny Salazar got hit by that ball off the bat of Hanley Ramirez, that was in the first inning.
Right.
According to StatCast, that ball came off the bat of Ramirez at 114 miles an hour.
Well,
so that will leave a mark.
That's good. Yes, he'll have some color there tomorrow. There's no doubt about it.
It was all part of a 40-pitch first inning for Danny. Tommy Hunter strikes out Vasquez to end the inning. But David Ortiz with his third hit of the day, his third run batted in. And the Red Sox lead it 4-2. As we head now to the sixth inning of play, improve your game and tune into the Golf Zone. Our PGA pro Jimmy Hanlon has tips for your game, and he'll talk about this weekend's action on tour. Get inside the Golf Zone with Jimmy Hanlon tonight at 8 on Fox Sports Ohio. Jose Ramirez leading off. And Rick Porcello with a strike. Ramirez popped up on the infield in the first, called out on strikes in the third. Cut under the curveball, missed high with it. Two more home runs for the Tampa Bay Rays today, but they trail the Tigers 7-4 in the eighth inning. Ramirez rounds out, one away.
Well, season tickets offer the best perks, including savings and access to Tribe Rewards. And today's Tribe Rewards TV code is Mills. Visit Indians.com season tickets for complete details.
Todd Frazier has homered for the White Sox, and they lead the Kansas City Royals 3-1 after 5 innings in Chicago. Curveball missed up high. Jose Bautista and Josh Donaldson both homered in the first inning today for Toronto. And the Blue Jays with a 3-1 lead over the Twins through 6 innings at Target Field. 2-0 pitch, and Gomes sends a high fly ball to center. Bradley now jogging in, makes the grab, 2 away. Well, Rick Porcello able to settle in after a rocky second inning. Gave up 2 hits in the first with only 1 out, but got out of it quickly. And then the Indians got him for a couple of runs in a lengthy second inning. But since the 2-run single by Jason Kipnis with 2 outs in that second inning, the Indians have only 1 hit, their only base runner, on a 1-out double by Uribe in the 4th inning. So he has been able to right the ship.
Yes, he has. He's thrown some zeros up there.
He logged some innings too. He's pitched into the 6th with 2 outs. And Lonnie Chisenhall laces one to left field. That's a foul ball.
Yeah, I told you his last start for Porcello was his shortest one since the September of last year, where the only time he didn't go 6 innings in his last 15 starts. So he's looking to get 6 innings in here. Didn't think he was going to get it, but he's up to about 113 pitches. This is his 5th start in this ballpark. His first 4, he is 4-0.
And that one didn't miss by much, 1-2. And it hit him on a 1-2 pitch. We'll see if that's the end of the day for Porcello. John Farrell talking it over with Carl Willis.
Well, not what he wanted to do, because he's been able to get Chisenhall. It's been Uribe who's giving him problems, and he's going to make the move right here. He tried to throw a little breaking ball, and it gets him on the front foot. So Porcello's afternoon will be over after 5 2/3.
Hit a couple of batters today, but only gave up 2 runs. And he'll leave with a chance to win it with 2 outs here in the 6th.
Sports Time Ohio is back, and it includes your first drink. You can grab some friends and catch the game from the corner out in right field or the new drink rails in left. District tickets only available online at Indians.com.
Matt Barnes, the new pitcher, he leads the Red Sox bullpen with 21 innings of work. 2 up, 2 down, ERA of an even 3. He's walked 11, struck out 18. He's got Juan Uribe, who's a perfect 2 for 2 on the day with 2 doubles and a run scored.
Pitched an inning and 2/3 in Friday night's game. Gave up a hit and a walk.
Lonnie Chisenhall hit by a pitch with 2 outs is at first base. And Barnes misses for ball 1. One swing of the bat could get the Indians back to even here. Uribe has the Indians' lone hit since the Kipnis 2-out 2-run single in the second.
Think of his double last night, which broke up the no-hitter, and he's got 2 doubles here, so his last 3 hits have been doubles.
And a foul right back. 2-1. We'll take a minute to send out happy birthday wishes to Sophia Salvo, celebrating her 16th birthday today in Concord, Ohio.
Oh, happy birthday. 16.
I think it's a little nicer back home than it is here. Warmer, yeah.
Yeah.
It was 59 degrees at game time here in Boston. Seen a lot of sunshine today, but that breeze, as we've mentioned throughout the telecast, blowing straight in, and it's kept everybody in the shade is cool. Matt Barnes sets with the 3-1. Uribe chased one, full count.
Well, 3-1 count, you know he's going to get after it. He helped him out. That was a ball he swung at. Now we'll go to a 3-2 count. Chisenhall will be off with the pitch.
Runner goes. Uribe taps it foul. Again, Lonnie will be off. And this 3-2 pitch is low, ball 4. So after a lengthy at bat, Juan Uribe draws a walk. Chisenhall into scoring position, and now the go-ahead run to the plate.
Yeah, that ball down and away, pretty close, but he was able to lay off. A guy that doesn't walk much has been on 3 times today, 2 doubles, now a walk, and it's going to turn it over to Rajai. One of the better hitters with runners in scoring position. Once again, there are 2 outs, though. Trying to get the toughest hit in baseball.
And he tried to check, but he went around on a high pitch. Yeah, that's popped back out of play. Two on, two out, 0-2 pitch. And that one really too tall.
Cleveland trying to do it the hard way. They did it back in the second inning. The first two guys were out, and then Uribe got it started with the double. They ended up scoring their 2 runs here. First 2 were out. You have a hit batter, now a walk, and trying to do it again.
But he got Davis to go chase one out of the zone. And the inning is over. Tribe strands a pair. Boston leads it 4-2. Now he's got the top of the order here in the 6th with Boston on top 4-2. Tommy Hunter worked 2/3 of a scoreless inning, giving up 1 hit. And McAllister now the 3rd pitcher of the afternoon. Mookie Betts 1 out of 3 with an infield single and a run scored back in the 2nd. Hard hit ball by Uribe. Ramirez trying to cut it off, but he can't. And Betts easily in the second base with a leadoff double.
Second hit today. This guy is quick inside. They tried to throw it by him in there, and he's able to turn on it. His 11th double. And that's their 10th hit. Something they do very well here. That's just like another day at the beach for these guys.
Dustin Pedroia 0 for 2. He walked and scored in the 1st. He's flat out grounded out since then.
That's 10 or more hits in 15 of their last 17 home games.
Everything that Boston has been doing, they have done today as Pedroia pops one up on the infield. Score in the first inning, hit home runs, get 10 hits. I mean, everything that they've been trending as a team, they've done it all again here this afternoon.
Now it's been a tough place for the Indians to win here in this ballpark. You have to come in, and it's almost like I looked at it when we faced the Tigers. You got to score 5 runs if you want to beat this team, especially in this ballpark.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know they're going to put something up on the board. It's tough to shut them down. Kluber was able to do that on Friday night. But boy, you got to have your hitting shoes on when you come here.
Now the Indians at home average almost 5.5 runs a game. On the road, just a shade over 4 runs per game. Now it's still 9th best in the league, but in this park, as you said, in particular, you're not going to win a lot of games if you're only getting to the 4-run mark.
Yeah, 4 runs doesn't cut it.
Bogaerts pops it up, and that's out of play.
It looked like last at bat Bogaerts did something to his hand, that right hand, on a swing that he fouled off before he struck out. He had 2 hits in his first at bat.
Yeah, you noticed during the at bat and then after, he was shaking that right hand.
Yes, he was.
I wonder if maybe when he fouled that pitch off, did he foul it off the end of the bat and maybe it just kind of stung him a little bit?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. He was shaking it. I don't know if
that's exactly
that top hand.
That was the pitch he fouled off before, and that's when he noticed it in that last at bat, but no ill effects shown here.
Yeah, that top hand came off the bat. Take a look at this. This is the at-bat before. A foul ball. Watch the right hand. See, he's shaking it now. He will not hold the bat. He's got it in his left hand, but continued to shake that. And even after the inning when he was going out to take ground balls.
Another foul back by Bogaerts. Five hits in the series. Major League, or I should say an American League, leading 62. He's going to bloop one in here.
63.
Coming around third, Betts will try to score. The throw to the plate, and he's safe. And the Red Sox add to their lead. It's now 5-2.
Sure, that'll be a base hit, an RBI. He went to second on the throw. Kipnis turned to throw it to home plate. Gomes went out to get it. It short hops him. And Betts, with his speed, beats the throw to home plate and gets on it, so it makes it a 5-2 game.
So Zach McAllister has given up 2 hits out of the first 3 that he has faced, and now David Ortiz, and they'll just put him on finally. There's ball 4. And up comes Hanley Ramirez.
Well, he started out with a base hit, driving in a run back in the first inning. The first run for Boston. Did it again in the second with a double. They caught a break there. Only 1 run scored that inning, and then in his last at bat, he hit a solo home run. So he was 3 for 3 off Salazar. 3 RBIs. He's had a very good afternoon.
There's Hanley Ramirez, who drove in a run back in the first with that scorching ball that hit Salazar. Came off his bat at well over 100 miles an hour.
Missed with 2 breaking balls. Well, let's see what you come in with. 2-0 count.
Yeah, I mean that.
You know, when you're throwing good hitters pitches, and you got to throw that breaking ball. It helps when you get ahead of them, because if you miss and you're pretty much a fastball pitcher, they're going to sit down and they're going to look for their pitch here.
And he swung and
I
missed
mean,
at
that's
it.
how they all swing too. When they get the count in their favor. How many swings have we seen like that in this series when they get into hitters' counts? Boy, he may have chased it, but boy, he was looking for that pitch, that fastball.
It's one of the few times he swung and missed and his helmet didn't fall off.
I think if your name is Ramirez, your helmet has to come off. That's what I think.
Jose, remember the play?
Yeah.
Was it Houston? He went in to hit
Yes.
second base and
Kicked it,
That
came
was
back
great.
15 feet, and it ended up landing on his backside.
Hanley's just got a lot of hair, and he's got the do-rag, the skull cap, whatever you call it, underneath that batting helmet, so it just doesn't look like it fits real good. Two and two, the count. I was going to say before, though, with this Boston lineup, if you don't make a quality pitch early in the count, first pitch, they'll whack it. If it's in the heart of the plate, fastball or not, they're going to hammer it. So you can't just throw it down the pike, but boy, you start messing around and pitching from behind, then you're really in a world of hurt. Full count. I don't know how many of those we have seen, especially here today. But a lot of 3-2 counts.
Well, Adams up again.
And he walked him, and then they're loaded.
McAllister not faring very well. This second walk, although the other one was intentional to Ortiz, but back-to-back walks. And again, the bases are loaded for the Red Sox. They're coming up to the hottest hitter in baseball right now. And again, like we said last night, base hit here could poke a hole in this one. It can, you know, pretty much make it look bad.
Well, he's got the bases loaded, and he also has the #1 overall batting average and the #1 batting average with runners in scoring position, where he's hitting .429.
Well, no, yeah, they pitched around him when they could in this series. There's nowhere to put him now. So you've got to go at him, and he did continue his hitting streak with a base hit in his last at-bat. Oh, yeah.
Uribe backpedaling into foul ground, makes the catch with the infield fly rule in effect. 2 away.
That is a big out right there. Let's see, they threw him the fastball and it got down around the trademark. And he popped it up. Shallow third base. It was an infield fly rule. So now you got one big one to go if you're Zach McAllister. This is an offense that just keeps coming at you. They've scored in 4 of the 6 innings. There was only one 1-2-3 inning, and that was the 4th. So they always have pressure on you.
Travis Shaw came into today 10th in the American League in on-base percentage. He got a 2-0 count here. Oh, but he was swinging for the downs and went fishing, came up empty. Although actually,
fastball.
you know, that looked better. That pitch looked better than I thought it did initially. Must have been just the way he dropped down to a knee.
Yes.
Follow through made it look like he was chasing. Bases loaded, 2 outs here in the 6th, and Boston on top 5-2. And he strikes him out to end the inning. But Boston gets another run on the board, and they lead it 5-2. Elk and Elk, proud partner of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. And by Ford, built Ford tough. Five-2 in favor of the Red Sox, and Tommy Lane coming on to work now here in the 7th inning. He's got the top of the order. So the Indians, if they're going to make a move, this would be maybe their best chance to try and rally to get back in it.
Well, he brings the left-hander in to turn Santana over and face him from the right side with Kipnis, the on-deck hitter for Lane. Lane faced 2 batters and allowed a hit in a third of an inning of work on Friday night, so he may be on for 2 hitters. Lindor might have been the guy that had the hit.
Was Kipnis with an infield hit.
Okay.
Santana.
And it was Ross that gave up the Lindor hit on Friday. The left-hander.
You are correct, sir. Santana breaks his bat. Will it get down? No. Bradley is there, 1 away. As promised earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Back in the 1st inning, Jason Kipnis with a foul ball by inches. Next pitch, bingo. A 2-out, 2-run single. It tied the game at the moment. But since then, Boston has scored they've scored 3 unanswered. And they lead it 5-2. Detroit pulled away and beat Tampa Bay 9-4 at Comerica Park. White Sox lead the Royals 3-2 in Chicago in the 7th. Kipnis pulls it foul. Heath Hembree might be coming on to face Francisco Lindor, although I don't know that John Farrell's that concerned with 1 at bat in a 3-run game. But
well, you flip
Lindor's
Lindor,
a much better hitter from the right side of the plate.
Exactly, and you flip him to the left side, and then you have the right-hander on deck, Napoli.
So this could be it for Tommy Lane.
If he's up, I'm thinking so, because their 8- and 9-inning guy in a situation like this, if it remains a 3-run game.
Big bouncer, first base. Hanley Ramirez with the flip, 2 down, and here comes John Farrell.
He couldn't get out of there fast enough, but he was up the step before Ramirez flipped it over to Lane. So he does his job getting the 2 hitters he's facing.
And he will indeed want to flip Francisco Lindor to the other side of the plate. So we've got a timeout in the 7th with Boston on top 5-2. making his 10th appearance on the year. 2 wins, no losses, an ERA of .220. And Francisco Lindor, the batter, was 1 for 3 on the afternoon. 3 for 10 in the series. Hembree is a South Carolina native, and he came to Boston from the San Francisco Giants in the Jake Peavy deal at the trading deadline a couple of years ago. Hard ground ball and a nice grab by Pedroia. That ball looked like it was by him. Somehow he snared it. And the inning is over. The Indians go 1-2-3. Stretch time at Fenway. The Red Sox lead it 5-2. Trumbo does today, and Manny Machado. Chris Davis out in Oakland. He could be tied for the league leading home runs now with those 13 for Todd Frazier. Here's Austin Adams. His season at AAA Columbus very good with a 1.10 ERA. He's got Blake Swihart, Christian Vasquez, and then Mookie Betts. Here in the bottom of the 7th for the Red Sox and a first pitch strike.
Well, you know, he has good stuff, a live arm, good fastball to go with a slider. Wow.
He can, I mean, he's always had a good arm. Popped out of play. Yeah, I'm sure Austin looks at a guy like maybe the guy here in Boston, Craig Kimbrel. Not a 6'5" guy, but a right-hander with a power arm. But if Austin can somehow harness a secondary wipeout pitch to go along with that fastball, then
well, there it is right there.
That's what we're talking about.
Was that a changeup or a slider? It's tough to tell up here. I'd have to see that on the screen, but it was a nice off-speed pitch that he gets the strikeout looking. Take a peek.
Little hump in it. Looked like a slider, huh?
I guess it was on the outside edge.
To center field, Rajai Davis will make the grab. 2 quick outs. You know, I suppose when you've done it this long, when you've played baseball, high school, and you've battled as long as a guy like Austin Adams has, you just sort of know the territory, and I'm sure he had to be disappointed at the end of spring training that he didn't get a shot and had to go to AAA, but he didn't go there and pout or feel sorry for himself. He went down there and threw well and has earned the promotion. Hopefully he can take this opportunity and run with it.
Well, you look at the Indians now, they don't have a left-hander coming out of the bullpen because Crockett was the only guy. So it shows you where we talked about all along. You're better off just having a guy that can get out. So Crockett was going to be like a matchup guy, and he wasn't matching up very well.
Wasn't working out.
No, it wasn't working out. You couldn't bring him in to face just the one left-hander. And I mean, you need guys, if you're going to have that extra man out of the bullpen, you got to have a guy that can at least go an inning or 2 innings at a time, not just one hitter. If you're on to face one hitter, you don't get him out, then you're in trouble.
Lonnie Chisenhall's flying in, and he makes a diving catch and hangs on. I don't know if that was the tricky wind or if he just didn't get a good read on it. Yeah.
Wind and sun.
He came flying in at the end and made a fine diving catch to end the inning. And we'll head to the 8th with the Indians down 5-2. is presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. And it's a 5-2 Boston lead, 8th inning. For the Indians, Mike Napoli, Jose Ramirez, Yan Gomes do up. Red Sox go back to their bullpen. And the 5th pitcher to work today is Koji Uehara, on for the 18th time. Mike Napoli is trying to break out of a serious funk right now. He has struck out in his last 8 consecutive plate appearances. And even the toughest of veterans, that's got to shake your confidence a little bit.
Yes, it does. Sometimes you go up there and you don't know, you're thinking, what am I doing? You swing, you foul it off, you take, it's a strike. Yeah, it was the Friday night, his last at bat. He struck out 4 yesterday, and there's you're moving in the right direction.
That was a good line drive. I mean, that was solid contact, but he hit it right at him. And that's out number 1. And I'm guessing, too, when you're mired in one of those kind of slumps, you don't want to hear anybody in the dugout say, hey, man, you hit that one hard.
No, right. Just be quiet.
Yeah.
Get out of the way. Yeah. Boy, right on the nose. I'm going to hit you right on the nose.
I was going to say.
Yeah, you don't want to hear anything. You want a base hit.
Jose Ramirez has a base hit, and he'll end his little slump, 0 for 14. And he's aboard with 1 out here in the 8th inning.
Well, there's a pitch that he gets. It's belt high out over the plate, gives him a chance to swing, hits a line drive. That's just the 6th hit for the Indians today.
Yeah, and only their 2nd, Rick, since the 2nd inning.
Yeah.
Well, Yan Gomes 0 for 3 on the day.
That's his splitter. He's got the fastball split combination. He's not overpowering. He throws in a 87, 88. And then he has that splitter, and that's the one that's that's very tough to hit.
Ramirez beats the tag of Ramirez at first base.
Try to throw behind the runner, but no. Jose gets back. This guy behind the plate, I've noticed he likes to throw in this series when he gets an opportunity.
That's fouled back out of play. No balls, 2 strikes for Yan Gomes, who has collected a hit in 6 straight games. But so far today, 3 balls to the outfield, nothing to show for it. Hit a line drive in the 3rd inning, but Bradley came running in to make a nice catch.
This guy a couple of years ago had a phenomenal year with his saves, and then they went out and got Kimbrel. pushes him to the 8th, though, which is nice. You know, it takes the pressure off because, as I said, he's not an overpowering guy. Guys can put the ball in play off of him. You've got the power arm back there now, who we will see in the 9th if it remains a 3-run ball game.
Might see him regardless. I don't know when he worked last. He might need some work, period.
That's true, and I think they're off tomorrow, so.
Gomes pulls it foul. Oh, that was a tricky hop for the ball girl that time.
He's had a tough day, too.
I think they rotated. This is a different gal.
Yeah. Well, but the game's the same. Different girl, same outcome. Yeah, it hit the lip. She's smart. She played it off to the side.
They went to the bullpen. They went bullpen for ball girls.
Yeah, she got relieved. Yes, went out there in between innings.
Gomes hammers it down the left field line. Foul. Man, that was close, but just a little too much hook at the end.
Well, it has Gomes talking to himself. He wanted that one to stay fair. He needs a break. Hit that one on the nose. You go, you can see the hook, and you can see it hook foul.
Yep. He strikes him out, 2 away. This summer, some of the biggest names in soccer will converge on the United States for the 100th anniversary of one of the world's biggest tournaments. Coverage begins June 3rd across the networks of Fox Sports. Lonnie Chisenhall 0 for 2 was hit by a pitch his last time up on an 0-2 pitch, mind you. Didn't go. 1 ball, 1 strike. To left field, and that's playable for Swihart, and that'll end the inning. Middle of the 8th at Fenway. Red Sox still lead at 5-2. The Red Sox lead it 5-2. Dustin Pedroia will lead it off. Austin Adams set him down 1-2-3 in the 7th, and he'll stay on to pitch the 8th. Pedroia swings at the first pitch, and Uribe will throw him out. And that brings up Xander Bogaerts.
Another 3 hits today. This continues. That's 63 on the year for him now.
I know it's only 3 games, and we did see him a couple of times in Cleveland, although the weather was awful. And it was right out of the chute.
That wasn't baseball weather.
But I'm not so sure that when the season's all said and done, this kid might not be the better hitter between he and Jackie Bradley.
Oh, overall, yeah. He's Silver Slugger, man. I think he was second in the league last year. This guy, he knows how to hit, and he's a young shortstop in this league. He's right there in the range with Correa, with Lindor, Bogaerts.
Yeah.
This is the guy that never gets talked about. You know what I'm saying? He gets passed by, and it's hard to do when you play in Boston because usually the big markets, they hear it. But it's all about Lindor. It's all about Correa and the young shortstops. Well, this guy is a good one.
He may have actually moved ahead of Bradley today in overall batting average. Although this will knock him down a peg. 2 away. Pat O'Brien playing the game. David Ortiz, 3 hits today. Take your pick which one was the biggest.
Well, they all drove in runs, so it really doesn't matter. That was the double, his second at bat. And in the 2nd inning.
Well, here he is again. And with 2 down, Austin Adams will potentially be the final Indians pitcher to ever face David Ortiz. So Redbird said Bogaerts is moved ahead of him. 346 to 342. And Bradley's on a 27-game hitting streak.
Well, yeah, he's on a 27-game hitting streak, but Bogaerts is like 26 out of 28 in his own
That's true.
right.
Yeah, you're right.
So I'm saying, okay, he might have had an 0 for 3, 0 for 4 there, but he's been right there with him all along.
Yeah.
Boy, 2 young players that can hit.
Two 2-1 pitch. And Adams missed a little bit outside. 3-1.
That was a changeup there, but he could spit on it because he had the count in his favor. 2-1. Didn't have to swing at it. Maybe it geared up looking for a fastball here in this count, I bet.
He got it, and he hammered it. And Rajay will chase it down, but it goes over the fence in a ground rule double.
Well, he needed a triple for the cycle if that stays in. Not that Big Poppy would have got it.
Tell you what, he was thinking about it.
But, that's the place you have to hit it for the triple.
Right.
In this ballpark. If it hits that sidewall and Karam's away from one of those guys, if it stayed in play, the possibility was there. But just another line drive, but a 3-1 fastball. He can catch up to 98. He can still, at his age of 40, Matt, can still turn on a fastball. And I'll tell you what, he proved it to everybody in this series.
Well, his final game against the Indians, kind of typical. The way he has hit against them his whole career. And he finishes with a 4-for-4 performance against the Tribe here today with 2 doubles, a homer, and 3 runs batted in. Yeah, he finishes his career with a 28-game on-base streak against the Tribe. Oh, that's right. I forgot. They've got to come back to Cleveland, so we will see him one more time.
Yes,
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, the makeup day. That's right. So did I.
In August. Hanley Ramirez with an RBI in the first inning of this game. That was a rocket shot off the leg of Danny Salazar. Since then, he's lined out, struck out, and drawn a walk. Now the 0-2. Strikes him out to end the inning. We'll head to the ninth. It's 5-2 Boston. Oh, we've seen enough of him, haven't we? Craig Kimbrell coming on to close this one out for Boston. Indians down 3. Half dozen hits for the Tribe, a dozen on the board for Boston. Juan Uribe has 2 of those 6 hits for Cleveland, both of them doubles. He walked his last time up. And a strike call.
Fastball next, drop in a slider. The shadows creeping in.
Yeah, when you play a 4-hour game, you'll have that. Swing and a miss. Down goes Uribe.
Getting the pitch any better than those 3 pitches right there.
Recapping keys to the game brought to you by Mazda. Danny Salazar was not the same pitcher that we have seen so far this year. And the Indians, while they did have some early base runners, the offense just disappeared after the second inning. They've only had 2 hits since the second here today. Craig Kimbrel barely 6 feet tall, but he's had seasons of 46 saves, 50, 47. Last year, even on a bad San Diego team, had 39 saves. Rajay fouls it off. I mean, we've seen Danny Salazar hit 97, 98. Kimbrel's in here. He's throwing at 100 now.
Well, he's been doing that his whole career. That's the scary thing.
And that's strike 3. One out away from his 12th save now. And it will be Carlos Santana. Hitless on the day, 0 for 3 with a walk. And the pitch is inside, ball 1. Santana sends one in the air to left field. Back goes Swihart onto the track and makes the catch. And the ball game is over as the Red Sox take the series, winning 2 out of 3. David Ortiz hurt the Indians today as he went 4 for 4 with a homer, and he drove in 3. As the Indians offense just could not sustain anything against Rick Porcello and the Boston bullpen. And so the Indians are 22-19 on the year now as they head to Chicago for a key 4-game series against the first place White Sox. Boston, meanwhile, finishes this series now 10 games over the 500 mark at 27-17.
Yeah, Porcello goes to 5-0 at home. He goes to 10-4 against the Indians in his career. And yeah, you come in here, you're going to have to score 5 if you want to,